in Landover. Look at the weather here. 57 degrees, blue skies, winds up to about 20 miles per hour, and looking for sunny skies the rest of the day. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. The Chargers at 4-3, coming off a bye. Had a 24-6 win over Jacksonville back in Week 7. Washington on the road last week. 45-21 loss in Denver. 38 unanswered points by the Broncos. Mike McCoy, the former Broncos offensive coordinator, in his first year as the head coach of San Diego. And Mike Shanahan returned to Denver. Shanahan told us the other day that it was really a classy gesture the way that the Broncos handled his first time back there as a head coach. He said, look, there aren't any players left from my time there. It's a whole new system, but still some emotions involved. Washington won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. Forbath kicking it off. We're underway at FedEx Field. Lavelle Hawkins, the return man for San Diego. And Hawkins carries across the 20-yard line. That's where the Chargers will open up. First play from scrimmage. Philip Rivers. The numbers have been very impressive. And when it's all said and done, it could be the best numbers of his career.
Yeah, and he told us yesterday that the Redskins will give him a lot of different looks defensively. That'll be up to him and center Nick Hardwick to discern those different looks and get the pass protection straight. He's been well protected so far this season. Rivers only sacked 11 times in 7 games.
And over 30,000 passing yards in his career in 123 career games. The quickest to do it prior, Marino and Warner did it in 114. Nickel package here for Washington to open up. And it's Matthews. Right up the middle for Matthews. Takes it across the 30-yard line, and Matthews fighting for extra yardage there. We take a look at the starting offense for San Diego. King Dunlap has dealt with 2 concussions this season. He is in there at left tackle. They've had to mix and match quite a bit on that offensive line because of injuries. Keenan Allen. In the absence of Malcolm Floyd, Allen has really stepped forward. The 3rd-round pick out of Cal. 11-yard gain, so a first down for the Chargers. Spread it out with 5 receivers. Rivers operating out of the gun. On 1st and 10. Hall is matched up with Gates. Rivers looking. Woodhead adjusts on the play, and he hauls it in Washington territory. It's a 20-yard pickup. Perry Riley there defensively, the linebacker for the Redskins.
Yeah, good read by Rivers. Sees the linebacker on Woodhead. And how about the adjustment you talked about, Ian? Seeing the underthrown ball, keeping his balance, diving to the outside. Just a super play by Danny Woodhead.
41st catch of the season for Woodhead. That's the 2nd most among all running backs in the NFL. Vincent Brown, the motion man. Running play, Matthews. Not much there. 2-yard gain for Matthews, plunging forward. Reed Doughty got him down low. Defensively for Washington, it's going to be a big day for Barry Cofield in terms of responsibility. You could already see San Diego is looking up the gut. Linebackers, London Fletcher, just incredible. Fletcher playing in his 248th consecutive game. And Brandon Merriweather is back for Washington. The 1-game suspension last week. He served it against Denver after the helmet-to-helmet hits in the Chicago game. 2nd and 8 for the Chargers. Just shy of the 45 of Washington. Movement, flags down, play whistle dead. Arakpo looking over.
False start, offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd out.
It's Jerome Boger with the call and Antonio Gates with the penalty.
Well, it didn't take a big move by Gates, but this little move right there is enough to get Arakpo into the neutral zone. Good call by the officials. Arakpo wasn't quite sure if they got it or not. Then he saw the flag fly.
San Diego comes in number 4 in the NFL in total offense. 403 yards per game. And Washington struggling on the other end. 29 in total defense, allowing 397 yards. 2nd and 13. Woodhead gets the call. Nowhere to go. Woodhead brought down by Kerrigan for no gain.
Well, Kerrigan playing off the block of the tight end. Here he is right here. Gates comes down, and Kerrigan gets to the inside, and the two of those big bodies are enough to knock down Woodhead.
So now a 3rd and 13. Trying to stall San Diego's opening drive. Ronnie Brown is in there for the Chargers. Vincent Brown in motion. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Play clock down to 2. He gets the snap off. Steps up. Rivers throws. Incomplete. Trying to hit Vincent Brown. And the Chargers will punt.
Well, that penalty against Antonio Gates really hurts the Chargers. It pushes them back to where they have a longer 3rd down situation. They've been so good this year, 49% on 3rd down, but most of those have been 3rd and 5 or shorter.
They come in number 2 in the NFL in that category at 49%, as you mentioned. Cypress, the punt. Morgan, the return man. This one will bounce inside the 5. Did they save it? Ajira Tutu getting down the field initially.
At the 1-yard line, he did save it.
And that's where Washington will open up. Stuckey gets down there as well. First, it's Ajira Tutu. Stuckey finishes it off after the 50-yard punt. No score in Landover.
Great effort by Ajira Tutu. Hits the ball before he hits the end zone, and Stuckey comes out and keeps his balance. That's 19 yards there. That's hidden yardage. And the Redskins start backed up.
So instead of the 20, it's at the 1. And a 3 tight end formation here with Morris in the backfield. Take the hand up. Griffin throws. Incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. Well, Robert Griffin III, injured left knee last week against Denver, said that he was sore on Monday, felt better on Tuesday, more at ease, had the full practice on Wednesday.
And that he must trust his teammates, let them do their job for the offense. Expect some high percentage passes. That'll be important for the Skins to be more successful when it comes down to 3rd downs. But RG3 off the target that time. He had his receiver for a big game.
And because of where they are on the field, that throws the script out of whack as well. They may have had some plays in mind to start out. On a pass to Hankerson and a modest gain on 2nd down. Give him a pickup of about 4.5. Derek Cox there defensively. Starting offensive line for Washington. Trent Williams is the only player actually drafted by the Redskins. Everybody else on this line was signed as a free agent. Backs and receivers. Jordan Reed has been a revelation. The 3rd-round pick out of Florida. Last 2 weeks, he has put up huge numbers from the tight end position. So 3rd and 6 now for Washington. 7 defensive backs here for San Diego. Griffin throws, and it's on time. He's got Reed. They'll move the chains on the 8-yard hookup. Eric Weddle, the safety, there defensively for San Diego.
35 catches now for number 86 in motion, and then getting up the field, kind of a stack formation there. And against Eric Weddle, no contest there. The quick cut to the outside by Reed, and it's a 1st down.
Reed was a high school quarterback in New London, Connecticut. He played some running back at Florida, and the versatility, they move him all over the field. Take the handoff, and look who it is. Jordan Reed getting to the perimeter. 18-yard rip by Reed.
That's Reed's first rush of the season. It's a great job on the option read. Watch Weddle come up here and force the pitch. And a perfect pitch from RG3. And the big fella down the sidelines. And the Skins all the way out to the 31-yard line after starting on their own 1-yard line.
That really is an option read, literally.
Beat me to it, didn't you?
You nailed it. On 1st down across the 30-yard line. And this time they do give it up to Morris. Marcus Gilchrist there to meet him. No gain on the play for Washington. Defensively for San Diego, they come in ranked number 23 overall. Corey Liuget, 2 sacks a couple of weeks ago in San Diego's last game against Jacksonville. Linebackers Andrew Gatchkar continues to start. Donald Butler nursing that groin injury. And in the secondary, these guys are going to be tested. Derek Cox along with the other corner, Sharice Wright. Washington has thrown the football quite a bit. They're trying to get back to what made them successful last year. Bootleg. RG3 on the move and on time. Pierre Garcon. Big gain downfield for Washington. The catch and run covers 30 yards.
Well, play action is the key on this one. It's Griffin after the fake coming out and using his ability to throw on the run. Here's Garcon coming across the field. A bust in the Charger secondary. No way you can leave the #1 receiver for the Redskins, Pierre Garcon, with 48 catches now, this wide open.
And once again, Washington comes out with 3 tight ends in this formation. Empty backfield for the Redskins. He sends Paul to the outside. On first down, they handle the rush. And Griffin is off the mark. Too high for Jordan Reed. Time for an NFL Today update. We have to do yours. It's JB and Shannon Sharp.
Good start for Tennessee.
This is how you start on the road, JB. You take the opening drive. John Green caps it off. 5-yard TD run. 7-0 early. Titans over the Rams.
Back to Iron Eagle and Dan Fouts.
Yeah, also that Green angle is big because they missed him for so long, and that was the perfect complement to Chris Johnson. He injured himself in the first game of the season. Now he's back, and they've got double trouble in the backfield. Alfred Morris. He's brought down quickly, a loss of 1. Gatchkar, third-year linebacker out of Missouri, makes the play for the Chargers.
And remember, he's filling in for the injured Donald Butler. Here's Gatchkar. Watch him shoot the gap here. Right, he's coming from the other side. Both linebackers, Manti Te'o on the run blitz, as well as defensive coordinator John Pagano trying to keep the Redskins bottled up on that second down and long, and they did exactly that.
And right now, Washington in a little bit of no man's land here at the 39-yard line. 3rd and 11. Down to 7:22 to play in this first quarter. Shotgun. RG3 throws. Tight window to Jordan Reed. First down, Washington, 14-yard gain. It's Reed and Weddle in the matchup.
Here he comes off the field, off the line of scrimmage against the safety Weddle. Perfect throw away from the defense, up high enough. Remember, Weddle's only 5'10". Jordan Reed goes at 6'2". Ball thrown perfectly by RG3, and he had time to look down the field and find the single coverage.
Had 8 catches for 90 yards last week. Phillip Rivers watching from the sideline for San Diego. The Chargers had pinned the Redskins deep at the 1-yard line. Washington with an impressive drive. Darrell Young, rare carry for Young, the fullback, his 3rd carry of the season, and he picks up 3 yards on the play, brought down by Sean Lismore.
Well, this drive, the Skins have run 10 plays, 6 of them passes, 4 runs now. And Griffin 4 of 6 for 56 yards. Remember, this drive started on their own 1-yard line.
And you have to go back to 1999, Halloween, the last time Washington has put together a 99-yard drive. It came against the Bears. 11th play of the drive, 2nd and 7 for the Redskins. It's Morris. Up the middle, picks up a couple.
But it's a positive play on 2nd down, and it brings you to 3rd down, and where you have a lot of different options, including the option. Mike Shanahan told us yesterday that the option will be a big part of this game plan, as will moving RG3 out of the pocket, as we've seen today already on play action.
So this is a 3rd and 6 now for Washington. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. Spread it out. Roy Halou sets up as a receiver. San Diego crowds the line. Here they come. Griffin gets rid of it and hooks up with Paulson. 7-yard gain. Eric Weddle back there for San Diego, and it's another Washington first down.
Well, here's Paulson, and there is Weddle. The positioning by Weddle on the inside, tries to grab Paulson. Paulson breaks out of that, catches his 9th catch of the year for a very important 3rd down. The Redskins perfect on 3rd down so far, 3 for 3.
And on this drive, RG3 is 5 out of 7, 63 yards. New set of downs for the Redskins to work with inside the 15. Morris could not get through that initial wave. No gain on the play. Jared Johnson and Lawrence Guy helped make sure of it. Morris comes in 6th in the NFL in rushing, 5.2 yards per carry. That's number 1 in the NFL.
And you talked about the opening drive for RG3. Very impressive so far. Really has given this offense a boost, especially his third down passing.
So this is a 2nd and 10 now for Washington. Once again, 3 tight ends. 14th play of the drive, nearing 8 minutes of elapsed time. Fake it. Forced to get rid of it. And Niles Paul with the catch and run. 6 yards for Paul. John Pagano, the defensive coordinator for the San Diego Chargers. They come in ranked 26th against the pass, and Robert Griffin III taking advantage of that so far.
And showing his athleticism on that last play with the pressure coming right in his face. He just kind of paused a little bit, jumped in the air, and delivered a nice pass.
Yeah, Rivers is getting a suntan along the sideline. This is over 8 minutes. RG3 to run, caught from behind. He thought he had a crease, and Larry English got him down low.
Great play by Larry English. Watch English fight inside and then break on the quickness of RG3. If he doesn't make that tackle, it's either going to be a first down or touchdown for Washington.
Kai Forbath, the UCLA product, Lou Groza Award winner as the top collegiate kicker back in 2009. Chip shot, 25 yards. It's blocked. No points to show for the long drive.
I think it's Lawrence Guy.
It is Guy. 16 plays, 9 minutes, and 0 points on the board. The long arm, Lawrence Guy, gets it done for San Diego.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Domino's. Visit Domino's.com. And by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Chargers take over after blocking the field goal, and Ryan Matthews finds a lane for 7 yards out across the 25.
Let's go back to the block here. Here's the big fella. Watch him get up in the air, leaning over 2 blockers to get his right hand on the ball. Fantastic play by Lawrence Guy.
Under 2 minutes to go now in this opening quarter. That was the longest drive of the season for Washington in terms of plays and time elapsed. And we're still scoreless. Give is to Woodhead, squeezing through. And he picks up 6 yards and a first down. San Diego, last blocked field goal, November the 3rd, 2002 against the Jets. John Hall, 43-yard attempt blocked by Adrian Dingle. That was the last time the Chargers blocked a field goal attempt. It had been 175 games, the longest streak in the NFL, and that ends here in Landover.
And do not adjust your television set. That was before HD, I believe.
It was. That was very fuzzy. Great point by you, Dan.
Thank you. Research.
On first down across the 30-yard line. Here's Matthews. And toppled down by Dowdy, a 2-yard pickup. Dan, I don't know if you knew this, but Ryan Matthews last week, prior to the bye, first guy this season, first running back to go over 100 yards in back-to-back games.
You could win a lot of money with that bet, couldn't you?
You could. And Dan, of course, had that note in our open, and I was just so impressed by it because I had not heard that. Incredible stat. How is that possible? So many great running backs around this league. It goes 8 weeks without a back-to-back 100-yard rushing day. 2nd and 8 now for San Diego. Little flip, connects with Green. And another Chargers first down to the 45. That one's 11 yards.
Ladarius Green is starting to become more of a target for Philip Rivers. That's 6 catches now, but quite a few. Here he is lined up right here, but you got Gates on the other side, and they do a little crisscross here. Well, if you can get Green and Gates both rolling, along with Woodhead out of the backfield or in the slot, more weapons for Philip Rivers.
End of the first quarter at FedEx Field, the Chargers and the Redskins. No score. We'll come back to Landover after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Alumni weekend for the Washington Redskins. Darrell Green, Doug Williams among the former players in attendance. And that certainly brings back great memories for Redskins fans. Super Bowl 22. Washington and Denver. Doug Williams, the MVP, 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Ricky Sanders. Timmy Smith, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Washington scored 42 unanswered points after trailing 10-0 to win the game 42-10.
Game played in
San Diego.
You got it.
A lot of great names coming onto the field earlier today. Over 200 alumni in attendance. First play of the second quarter. San Diego's got it with a first down. Rivers pumps, and Rivers will go down at midfield, a 5-yard gain. Let's give credit to the San Diego defense. They have now gone 12 quarters without giving up a touchdown. That's a team record.
And Philip Rivers, that's now 8 rushes on the season. He's averaging over 4.5 yards per carry. And most importantly, no fumbles so far this year for Rivers. And I do not want to jinx him by saying that, but it's a fact.
5 defensive backs here for Washington. Dowdy goes to the sideline. Amerson and Biggers are in. Motion man is Eddie Royal for San Diego. This is a 2nd and 5. Ground game. Woodhead makes a man miss. And Woodhead will come up short of the first down. It was Arakpo that didn't get to him initially. As we send it to New York, JB and Shannon.
Using the right tool.
JB, if you want to give the young guy some confidence, let him throw the ball deep. Jeff Toole, 59 yards. Markeith Goodwin runs up underneath it. 7-0 Buffalo over the undefeated Chiefs.
Ian, I couldn't resist that one.
Well, JB, that Buffalo team, they've got track speed on offense at a number of different spots, and you just saw it on display. On a 3rd and 1. Play clock down to 1. Rivers steps up, he throws underneath. Antonio Gates, first down. 4-yard pickup. And time right now for this week's Bounce Focus, Philip Rivers.
Well, he's the most accurate passer in the NFL because he knows where his receiver is going to go. Watch how he expects Woodhead to get beyond the defensive back and get to the back of the end zone. And again, to Eddie Royal, anticipation and good decision-making is what makes Rivers so good.
Rivers is 3 out of 4, 35 yards here in the early going. Completion percentage just under 74%. Gates with Phillips, 2 tight ends. Play fake. Rivers. Deep ball. And a little too high. Vincent Brown trying to lead him down the field.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but the Redskins want to see Rivers throw the ball farther down the field to his wide receivers. You talked about their 2 leading receivers being the tight end Antonio Gates and the running back Danny Woodhead. Well, down the field, Vincent Brown has only 26 catches, as does Keenan Allen. Eddie Royal with 22, so you can see it's changed for San Diego. It's a shorter passing game to the inside receivers and not the wide receivers.
And they lost the dangerous Malcolm Floyd to a neck injury earlier this season in the win against Philadelphia. 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Matthews knifing his way just short of the 35. Jeremy Clary with a key block up front. Philip Rivers, you had a chance to sit down with him one-on-one that was on the NFL Today, and you asked a great question about, did he think he needed to be fixed? What was his reaction?
No, he was a little aggravated with that type of suggestion, but they heard that so much it kind of has motivated him to play. It's been a breath of fresh air too with the new coaching staff, new system, and Rivers bought in immediately. and the results have just been phenomenal for him.
McCoy head coach, Whisenhunt, offensive coordinator, White, the quarterback coach. 3rd and 4 for San Diego. Rivers lets it fly, a little looper, bounced in the air, almost intercepted. Antonio Gates with burgundy jerseys all over him. That hit Terry Riley's helmet.
Yeah, Rivers was under real duress in the pocket, and he had to get rid of this ball before he wanted to. Watch it come right down on the top of number 56, Riley. And fortunate for San Diego, this carom isn't picked off. But good pressure on Rivers causes that incompletion.
Could have tried a 54-yard field goal attempt. Nick Novak's career long is 53, but McCoy sends Cyphers out onto the field. Once again trying to pin Washington deep. And he will. Wow. Cyphers, you can't do it any better. 35-yard punt, perfectly placed.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the redesigned Honda Odyssey. Honda, start something special. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
No score, Washington and San Diego, 11:44 to play in this first half. Well, if you take starting field position for Washington, first possession, that was at the 1. Starting field position, second possession, that's also at the 1. The average starting field position.
No, I got it.
You got this one?
It's the 1-yard line.
Yes.
I love the minutia of stats.
That's right. So a 1st and 10 at the 1 and some movement. Can you back it up?
Barely.
False start. Offense, number 36. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
So that would be the .75 starting position.
Yeah, they called it on Young, but actually it was Hankerson who moved early. There you can see just how close they are. Now safety, you have to be concerned about a safety. Any penalty in the end zone is considered a safety.
Thursday night we did see the game end in overtime with a safety. Oh, a touchdown! Lawrence Guy there defensively initially, and then Sean Lismore. What a turn of events.
The rule on the field, and the pass was tipped and caught by the defender there for a touchdown.
Yeah, it looks like Lawrence Guy made another big play. Interception for Lismore in the end zone. Watch Guy here. He's going to get his hand up in the air again. And the ball is going to go right to number 98, Lismore.
It just hung in the air, and Lismore floated right into the breadbasket.
That's the 4th interception of the year for San Diego, 2 by defensive linemen. Cam Thomas on the very first play of the season against the Texans. And now Lismore heads up after Lawrence Guy makes his 2nd huge play here in the first half.
The defensive coordinator, John Pagano, in celebration mode. They have looked at it. It's clean, and it is a touchdown for the Chargers. Extra point from Novak. Lawrence Guy, formerly with Green Bay and Indianapolis, picked up off of waivers. Guy has made things happen. Lismore the pick and the score. If you go back to the Denver game, the last 7 possessions at Denver, 4 interceptions, a fumble, 2 3-and-outs. The first 2 drives today for Washington, a blocked field goal and an interception for a touchdown. That's now 5 straight games where Washington has allowed either a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. And for San Diego, you're talking about a team that came in with just 4 takeaways, the fewest in the NFL. Novak kicks it off. Morgan is tripped. And he left the ball there. Ball is ruled down. Ajira Tutu on the tackle. Patrick on the recovery, but Washington will retain it. So Morgan They ruled that he was down.
I'm not so sure. This is real close to being a fumble by Joshua Morgan, but the wrist is part of the hand, but the forearm is considered down. This is just too close to call. No fumble.
And Washington has its best starting field position of the day by far. On a give for Morris, snaking his way for a gain of 2.5. Met by Lismore, who just had the interception for the touchdown. Fantasy Football Challenge. Check out CBSSports.com Player Challenge, a new 4-week game with a cash prize in every league. See rules and sign up at CBSSports.com/challenge. Washington wearing the throwback uniforms back from 1937, the team's first championship. Take the handoff. Griffin steps and throws out to the flat. Reed. He's met there by Wright, and it's a 2-yard gain. NFL Today, JB and Shannon.
Jimmy Graham will have to be paid, Shannon.
Sooner rather than later, JB. Watch the play fake Drew Brees. Slide. He sees his big guy. Down the sideline. Keep him out of the end zone. He cannot. 7-3 New Orleans over the Jets.
Dan Fouts had a pretty good tight end, did he not?
Yeah, he's pretty good. What the same number, too.
Yeah, Kelly Winslow. All right, Ian and Dan.
No doubt the Sean Payton effect from last year to this year, guys. New Orleans 6-1, 2-0 in the division. 3rd and 5 now for Washington. Redskins trail 7-0. Griffin has time. That's a low throw. Aldrick Robinson. They're going to give him the catch, but he's going to be short of a first down.
Yeah, Robinson ran his route too short. It's a pretty good catch as he picks it right off the top of the grass. 8 completions for RG3 to 6 different receivers, but that's a 3-and-out because of the short route run by Robinson.
And a punt from Sav Rocca, 39 years old. The Aussie puts it in the air. Fair catch called for by Keenan Allen. Chargers will have it at the 28-yard line after the 46-yard kick. San Diego with a 7-0 lead over Washington. 7-0 lead for San Diego. Chargers have the football. 9:21 to play in this first half from FedEx Field at the 28-yard line. A defensive touchdown putting San Diego on the board. Matthews in the backfield. Rivers will make a change here. Play clock is down to 3. Rivers throws. Antonio Gates. That little drag route by Gates picks up 9. Nick Barnett over there defensively. It's an all-new night of comedy on CBS, beginning with How I Met Your Mother and Two Broke Girls, followed by the premiere of the new Mike and Molly and Mom. It all starts tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. Second catch of the day for Gates, the 8-time Pro Bowler. And another adjustment here by Rivers. 2nd and 1, running play. Matthews breaks free, and he's got the first down. It was Josh Wilson, the feisty corner, that couldn't bring him down, and it's Matthews who turns it into a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, he steps right out of the tackle here of Wilson. Much more motivated player this year for the Chargers. He says he wanted to finally fulfill his potential, averaging over 4.5 yards a carry so far today. That was a big one on 2nd and short.
He said the Chargers drafted him, believed in him, and he wanted to prove them right. Once again, using a lot of the clock here. Shotgun Rivers. On the outside, Danny Woodhead. Matched up with Perry Riley Jr., and it's Woodhead picking up the 5 yards through the air. Well, for Ryan Matthews, last couple of games, we mentioned over 100 yards in both games. His previous 5, meaning the other 5 games this season, averaged 47 yards per game. He's looked like a different guy the last 2 weeks. He feels more confident And his teammates have talked about the confidence, the way he carries himself. 2nd and 5. They handle the rush. Rivers, he just throws it for the other team. E.J. Biggers. The interception for Washington.
And Rivers will have a conversation with his wide receiver, Vincent Brown. Brown broke to the outside, ball thrown to the inside where the defense was. And now we've got a flag down and all kinds of pushing and shoving. But it's going to be Redskins ball after the interception.
Jeremy Clary was in the middle of it for San Diego. Williams and Dunlap, they just looked at one another to indicate everything's okay, but not okay as far as the officials are concerned.
Flags came out on the return.
There's a flag at the 50, a flag at the 48. And the question may have been whether or not Clary threw a punch. And that's a game changer, especially for an offensive line that's been dealing with injuries and sending players to different spots.
After the interception, personal foul, defense number 23, 15-yard penalty. Washington keeps the ball. First down.
Okay, so no issue for San Diego. It is D'Angelo Hall on the penalty and a 7-0 lead for the Chargers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx One Rate. Simple, flat rate shipping with the reliability of FedEx. Kelly Blue Book. Everything you need to make a smart new car decision is at KBB.com. And by Walmart. Walmart's got the season's hottest gifts at everyday low prices. Come in and see for yourself.
Pretty fall day along the Potomac. 7-0 lead for San Diego. E.J. Biggers, his first interception as a Redskin. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, signed as a free agent. And Washington takes over a 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. 7:20 to go in this first half. Strange first half in Landover. Play fake. RG3 wide open downfield. Hankerson. That's the player Mike Shanahan believes is going to break out next in the passing game. 23 yards.
Well, this is what Philip Rivers sees. This is Merriweather. He's going to stay in the middle of the field. So he's expecting Vincent Brown to just go right down the field. Biggers has got outside position, but for some reason Brown breaks it to the corner. And that results in Rivers' 6th interception of the season.
Time of possession very close here. Washington now in San Diego territory. Running play and a loss. Flags down. Alfred Morris driven backwards.
Corey Liuget with a handful of face masks.
Personal foul, grabbing a face mask. Defense number 94, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Watch Corey Liuget here as he breaks to the inside. And then he's going to reach out with his left hand and stop Alfred Morris. He got his money's worth there.
He sure did. Corey Liuget. Spoke with him yesterday. He said he's been working on that double swipe move, which is like a windshield wiper type move. Dwight Freeney showed it to him on tape.
All these guys got names for their moves. You know, I love it. Stab and swipe.
That's one that we've heard.
Yep.
Alfred Morris busting to the clear inside the 5. Churning out yardage on the ground. 26-yard run.
Yeah, hitting it off the left side here behind Lichtensteiger and Trent Williams. Good block there by the tight end Reed as he comes over, and all the way to the safety Eric Weddle goes Alfred Morris. Best running play of the day so far for Washington.
The use of unbalanced lines, something Shanahan wanted to work in this week. 1st and goal for Washington. 5.5 to play, first half. Griffin on a give. Morris with the cut. Touchdown. Washington Redskins. It's a 5-yard touchdown run for Morris.
Couple of good blocks here. Right guard Chris Chester and right tackle Tyler Columbus. And again, it's Weddle who's trying to keep Morris out of the end zone. Can't do it that time.
Off of the interception, 4 plays, 67 yards, 4 back. The point after. We're tied at 7. Washington responding, and they get it done on the ground with Morris. After the turnover, Washington moves it down the field quickly in 4 plays, 67 yards, less than 2 minutes. The 5th rushing touchdown of the season for Alfred Morris, 2nd year out of Florida Atlantic. He's proven he can run through tackles, had that brilliant rookie season of 1,613 yards. And once again on pace to have a very impressive year. And first time in 12 quarters that John Pagano's defense has allowed a touchdown. Have to go back to October 6th, that late night game in Oakland. Kai Forbath to kick it off. Hawkins and Woodhead are deep. This will be Hawkins a yard deep in the end zone to take it out. Hawkins spun down at the 25 with a flag thrown at the 30. Josh Wilson making the play on special teams. And Hawkins comes up limping for San Diego.
During the return, holding, offense, number 59, 10-yard penalty. San Diego keeps the ball, first down.
And it's Gatchkar, who made a name for himself on special teams, but has been starting on defense because of the injury to Donald Butler. Saturday, Home Depot SEC on CBS rolls out a day-night doubleheader. First, 3:30 Eastern, Mississippi State takes on Johnny Manziel and the Aggies, then in primetime. LSU tangles with unbeaten #1 ranked Alabama. It all starts at 2:30 Eastern, CBS College Football Special and College Football Today. First and 10 at their own 15-yard line, now in a tie game. Chargers and the Redskins. Rivers throwing to Woodhead, hit immediately. Just short of the 20-yard line by Brandon Merriweather. Merriweather suspended last week, originally suspended for 2 games, and the appeal cut it to 1, and some very controversial comments. On Monday, he said, I guess I have to take people's knees out. You've got to go low, and that forced the NFLPA's hand a little bit. They got involved, the Players Association, stating that Merriweather had apologized for those comments. Woodhead, that's a first down. Cruising run by Woodhead. Merriweather, to be honest, man, you've just got to go low now. You've got to end people's careers. You've got to tear people's ACLs and mess up people's knees now. Can't hit them high.
Yeah, he obviously was very emotional about this 2-game suspension, and we'd like to think he misspoke there because he already has a target on his back. He's been fined a number of times. It just made that target that much bigger. Although the tackle on Woodhead, a very good, clean, legal hit.
Merriweather, a 2-time Pro Bowler back in 2009 and 2010. Woodhead brought down by Arakpo at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Well, let's go back to the Chicago game. Brandon Merriweather. He hits Alshon Jeffrey helmet to helmet. That was in the 3rd quarter. He hits Brandon Marshall helmet first to the head, then the neck area as well. He was flagged for both hits. The 2-game suspension knocked down to 1 game on appeal. 2nd and 10 for San Diego. Ryan Matthews in the backfield. 6 carries, 33 yards for him. Fake the handoff. Rivers looking downfield. He slings to Eddie Royal, incomplete.
Now the Redskins defense doing a good job of providing just enough pressure on Rivers to where he can't get the ball out of his hand as quickly as we've seen this year. Good coverage in the secondary. That time a zone defense that time made that window to Eddie Royal very, very small, and Rivers couldn't fit it in.
D'Angelo Hall, we asked him about Rivers. He said he's been more methodical, not taking as many deep shots. Obviously a lot of respect for Gates and Woodhead. 3rd and 10. In the pocket. Rivers now on the move. Looks, throws. It's complete. Keenan Allen's got his first catch, and he's got a first down. Just short of the 40-yard line. It covers 12 yards.
Great determination in the pocket by Rivers. It looked like he was swallowed up by that Redskin pass rush. How did he get out of this? It's a 5-man rush. Pocket totally collapses. He keeps his wits about himself, his head down the field, and finds the rookie Allen for a huge first down.
We asked Allen about Rivers. He said he just makes sure that you know what your responsibility is. As a rookie, he's got a lot of responsibilities that are new to him. He's like a coach on the field, and he's like a coach during the week, helping out in film study, etc. New set of downs for the Chargers, 2:35 to go. First half, Eddie Royal with a short gain, 5-yard pickup. Josh Wilson with the stick for Washington.
And you know what Allen's becoming? Not only is he a deep threat, but he's a third down threat. He's made some huge catches on third down situations that have really opened the eyes of the coaching staff and his teammates.
2nd and 5. Chargers will get another playoff before the 2-minute warning, maybe. See how they approach this here. Now to 2:04 left. It was close, and he didn't get it. Rivers was trying to time it right.
Rivers was looking at the play clock and not the game clock.
Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JV and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime report. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-all, San Diego and Washington. Chargers are on the move here. 2nd and 5, just shy of the 45. Danny Woodhead in the backfield.
Antonio Gates is lined up off sides. He's in the neutral zone right there.
Rivers again gets out of trouble and connects with Keenan Allen for another first down for San Diego. Takes it to the 45 of Washington. That's an 11-yard pass play.
Another great effort by Rivers. The classic pocket passer knows where his escape routes are and where his escape receivers are going.
We're down to 1:37 to play. 8th play of the drive. Dump off. Woodhead, the curl. Danny Woodhead spilled out. And he gets another first down, and he's using his own teammate as a way in which to get towards the sideline. That's 11 yards.
And a heck of a catch. Rivers short-armed this one a little bit to Woodhead on the screen pass. Gets the ball out of his hand quickly, but good catch there. And then down the sidelines, another first down for San Diego.
Now inside the 35. Shotgun for Rivers. Underneath route. Keenan Allen with a flag thrown. So Allen with the catch. That's 9 yards. And his close friend David Amerson, both out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Went to rival high schools in Greensboro.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 13. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
And Allen is called on it out of Northern Guilford High School. Amerson went to Dudley High School.
Well, I'm not sure where the pass interference is on this play. He doesn't even make contact with Amerson. That's an unbelievable call. That's an official anticipating contact. There wasn't contact at all on that play. Unbelievable.
First and 20 now for San Diego after the call against Allen, the phantom call. Now he's matched up with D'Angelo Hall. We'll see if Rivers looks that way. Instead, it's over the middle. And Antonio Gates lumbers to the 35. 8-yard pickup. Combination of Amerson and Fletcher in on the stop for Washington. We're down to 1:06 and counting left in this first half.
Chargers need about 5 more yards to get Novak in comfortable range.
2nd and 12 for San Diego. They deal with the rush. Rivers lets it fly. He's got Keenan Allen. That's a first down. No PI called on that. 20 yards. Rivers to Allen once again.
The key to it is the sharp route at the top of the route by Keenan Allen. He got separation from Emerson, and the ball was right on time.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And by Applebee's. Vets and active duty military enjoy a free Applebee's entree on Veterans Day.
Good sharp route by Keenan Allen as he comes down and then works his way back toward the quarterback to get separation for Emerson. Rivers is now 7 of 8 on this drive, 6 in a row, and really finding their rhythm. And a couple of times he's even had to escape the pocket to find receivers, but he's getting it all done right now.
We're down to 49 seconds to play in this first half. 11th play of the drive for San Diego. Trying to make a switch there. Royal and Brown, they'll switch spots. Play clock is down to 3. Wide receiver screen for Royal. Turns it upfield. They're not going to stop him. Eddie Royal. Touchdown, San Diego. DJ Fluker blocking upfield to create some space for Royal.
You know, usually on that bubble screen of the wide receivers, the offensive linemen aren't involved. The other receivers are out there blocking. But what a job by Fluker, the #1 pick, to get out in front. Here's Royal, #1, after Rivers changes the play. But watch number 76 come and clear the way for Royal to get into the end zone. The 7th time this year. What a job by the rookie Fluker.
Out of Chantilly, Virginia, Westfield High School, Eddie Royal. A lot of family and friends in attendance for Royal. And the San Diego Chargers, Philip Rivers pumping the fist because his team's up 14-7. Stay tuned. Verizon Halftime Report is coming up. JB and the rest of the gang, latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 11 plays, 85 yards, and it ends with a Rivers to Royal touchdown. Career high for Royal, 7 touchdowns this season receiving for Eddie Royal. Almost signed with the Washington Redskins as a free agent, had to make a choice. Chance to be reunited with Mike Shanahan or head out to San Diego, and made the decision to sign with the Chargers. Novak on the kickoff to Morgan. Morgan's going to take it out right at the goal line. Morgan circles. And he's brought down short of the 20 by Johnny Patrick on special teams. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, Rivers changes the play because he sees 3 defensive backs out here and 3 receivers for the Chargers. Now watch the blocks by Vincent Brown, 86, and then Keenan Allen frees it right there. And you've got great blocking there, and then Fluker comes up here and he clears out D'Angelo Hall for the touchdown. Great recognition by Rivers to read the defense pre-snap, and perfect execution. That will make a quarterback extremely happy.
135 yards passing for Rivers. Morris has the lone touchdown for Washington on the ground. Ball at the 19-yard line. They have 34 seconds to work with. That ball slapped down. Corey Liuget. Liuget went against RG3 when the two of them were in college at Illinois and Baylor in the Texas Bowl 2010.
Well, a deflected pass cost RG3 a pick 6 earlier in this quarter, and Liuget does a nice job here getting his right hand up and then chasing that ball down.
Now we've had a bunch of deflections. The interception, as you talked about, the blocked field goal from earlier.
Both by Lawrence Guy.
2nd and 10 now for Washington. Another one popped up in the air, and it's Liuget back to back. Corey Liuget said that the defensive line, they feed off each other's energy.
Liuget with another deflected pass there. Fans are wondering why Kyle Shanahan isn't just running out the clock here with just less than a half a minute to go in the first half. Wouldn't be surprised if this isn't a running play.
And it will be. Roy Halou, and it's a big one. Halou tripped up at the 40, and a timeout taken after the first down run by Halou. Jaleel Adai making the stop for San Diego. Longest run of the season for Halou. See why millions of fans have followed Person of Interest to its new night and time. Don't miss a new episode Tuesday at 10, 9 Central only. CBS. Kai Forbath has already had a field goal attempt blocked here today. Forbath trying to get himself ready for a potential attempt at the end of this second quarter. Career-long 50-yarder last year against Minnesota.
He also had a field goal blocked last year.
They need about 25 yards to try one from 53. 18 seconds to work with. 2 timeouts remaining. Griffin steps up. Down to 12 seconds. And Griffin will head to the sideline. Ends up picking up 6 yards on the scramble. 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
A real good decision, though, not to force this ball down the field, though. Gives his team another chance. And with 2 timeouts, he can use the entire field, throw the ball over the middle, and call timeout, and perhaps get enough yardage for Forbath to try a long field goal. 20 yards would be the number for a comfortable Forbath range.
4 receivers set. 10 seconds remain in the half. Excellent hands. Once again, Garcon. 5 seconds left. 15 yards. And you're looking at a really long attempt here for Forbath.
Yeah, it would be about 58, 59 yards. It'll be decision time for Mike Shanahan. And he's going to send out Forbath for this long field goal try.
So Kai Forbath, who has not kicked a field goal longer than 50 yards in his short 2-year career.
And San Diego would be wise to get a return man, and they're sending Eric Weddle back deep. Remember the play that Antonio Cromartie made when he returned a missed field goal, 99 yards against the Vikings a few years back.
59-yard attempt for Kai Forbath. Trying to cut into the San Diego lead. Wilson will snap it. Rocca will hold it. 59 yards away. And it was a skimmer rolling around, and it is spinning like a top. And that's how this first half will end.
I think the back of the center blocked this field goal try. Kyle Nelson, the snapper, this ball never got more than 4 feet off the ground. They'll give credit, looks like, to Corey Liuget, number 94. There he is, right in the middle of the screen here. Liuget getting his hands all over the ball here in the second quarter.
End of the first half, San Diego with a 14-7 lead on Washington. We'll come back for Verizon Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. First half storylines here in Landover. Yeah, a block party for San Diego. 3 batted balls, one of them a touchdown on the interception. Lismore, a couple of blocked field goals as well. Offense, Rivers. The accuracy numbers, they have been the best in the NFL this season. And those numbers are continuing for Philip Rivers. Get ready for the start of the third quarter. San Diego with a 14-7 lead. Right now, let's take a look at the first half performance presented by Intel. It's Rivers to Royal. Great blocking down the field, including Fluker, and Royal busting it for a touchdown from 15 yards away. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Strange first half I think about defense, you think about special teams, all of those deflections as well. San Diego's got the touchdown advantage.
Well, and for Washington, they had horrible field position to start the game, and their touchdown came after the interception thrown by Rivers. But the part that that they did on that drive was just so important, is they got the running game going. And I would think that in the second half, that's what Mike Shanahan wanted to stress at halftime to his offense. In order to win this game, we've got to keep Rivers and the Charger offense off the field. The way we're going to do that is by running the ball, taking time off the clock, and hopefully getting into the end zone.
Nick Novak kicking it off. Return man is Niles Paul. And Paul getting to the outside. He's angled out of bounds. Just across the 25-yard line. That's where the Redskins will open up this second half. RG3. What'd you see in that first half from the second-year QB?
Well, he looked poised in the pocket. It's so frustrating to get passes blocked, and especially when have one picked off for a touchdown. But I thought he kept his cool very well. At the end of the first half, he didn't force the ball, put his team in position to try a real long field goal. But I got to think that his confidence level is high, having completed 10 of 15 for 112.
So first play from scrimmage in this third quarter. Motion man is Jordan Reed. Reed 3 catches, 25 yards in the first half. Up the middle, Alfred Morris slicing across the 35 for a 9-yard gain. Corey Lichtensteiger with a good block.
Now this is the problem to start the game, was starting on their own 1-yard line thanks to really good coverage on the punts by San Diego. And of course the short field after the interception of 67-yard drive in just 4 plays. Most of that done on the ground, as they did with that first down run just now by Alfred Morris.
Give him a gain of 10, so it is enough for a first down. 202 total yards for Washington. Morris again. And a flag is thrown. Morris got tripped. Jared Johnson will get credit for the tackle. Let's see if it stands. Penalty marker on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
And it's Chris Chester called on the hold for Washington.
There's Chester there at right guard. He's going to be pulling and then reaching for the linebacker, Gachkar. And if that's on Chester, that's another phantom call by the officials. That one thrown by our umpire, Tony Michalek.
Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator, took some heat this week and came out and said, I have to do a better job calling plays. Last week against Denver, let that game get away from them. Griffin steps up in the pocket, and the throw is offline in the area of Niles Paul. Now, this is a Washington team that has trailed 65% of the time this season. That's the second highest number in the NFL behind Jacksonville, a team that hasn't won a game. Jaguars have trailed 86% of the time in the games they've played.
And if you're trying to run the ball, it's tough to run the ball and make up those many points. This is a team that's built to run the ball. It's a power offensive line, but when you get behind, you're forced to throw.
Number 1 rushing team in the NFL last season. They're number 6 in rushing this year at 137 yards per game. It's a 2nd and 20. Morris, nice move by Morris. And he is spun down at the 35-yard line.
Really great determination on the draw play by Alfred Morris. 5'10" and about 220.
He's got good burst, though, and excellent power. And his cutting ability, we've seen it on a number of carries here this afternoon. Washington is down by 7. We're just underway in the second half. Redskins is trying to stay in the thick of it in the NFC East, amazingly enough, at 2-5. A Dallas team that's inconsistent leading the division. You don't know what you're going to get week in and week out. RG3 sets the feet, throws up top. Oh, what a grab! Pierre Garçon. Fantastic catch by Garçon with a flag thrown. 38 yards.
This will be pass interference against San Diego, so this fabulous catch will stand for Pierre Garçon.
Pass interference. Number 22. That penalty is implied. The result of the play is the first interception.
Robert Griffin took a long time to get this ball out of his hand because he was waiting for Garçon to clear here. You can see the grab all the way down the field, and then the contact as the ball comes in. How does he make that catch? One-handed, controls it all the way to the ground.
Body control, acrobatic ability Garçon brings to the field. Give is to Morris. Well-earned yards for Morris, inching closer to the 20. That's a 6-yard gain for Washington. Key block from Logan Paulson, the tight end.
And a big play by your wide receiver like that picks up the entire team. It makes the offensive line job a little bit easier. It kind of deflates the defensive line. They don't quite get the push, the penetration that they have been getting. And Morris, when he's got the ball in his hand, he's a threat.
Looked like their offense was back on track after putting up 45 points against Chicago a couple of weeks ago, then took a step back in the loss to Denver. 38 unanswered points by the Broncos. Option. RG3. The late pitch. Santana Moss. Moss carries it to the 5.
This is the second time they've run an option to a wide receiver or a tight end. Reed went for a bunch of yards in the first quarter. Here's Moss. How about this play by RG3? The patience to draw the defense to him right there, get the pitch out, and then Moss, with his second carry of the year, goes for 18 yards to inside the 5. Fabulous play by RG3.
So it sets up Washington with a 1st and goal. Trying to tie this game up. 3 tight ends in this formation. On 1st down, running play. Morris, the cutback. Morris trying to power his way to the goal line. And he's driven backwards by Cam Thomas. 2-yard gain for Alfred Morris.
Eric Weddle also in on that tackle, and it looked like Morris may be able to overpower Eric Weddle. Cam Thomas there and Gatchkar as well. Keep him out of the end zone, but he does get all the way down to the 2.
Redskins lost their first 2 games at home this season to Philadelphia and Detroit, then beat Chicago 45-41. 8th play of the drive to open up this second half. Working out of the pistol. Fake it. Griffin throws. It was caught right at the goal line by Paulson, but he wasn't in.
Now he was in, the ball wasn't in. I think his derriere perhaps crossed the plane.
I'm sorry?
Well, you know, the backside.
Oh,
it's
the backside.
French for, they had 1 foot in the end zone, but I don't think the ball ever crossed the plane. Yeah, but he's short of getting into the end zone by about a foot.
So they will place the ball inside the 1. 3rd and goal. Tom Compton is in, an extra offensive lineman. A blast by Young. Touchdown, Washington. Strong statement to start this 3rd quarter. 9 plays, 74 yards.
And I really like the play call, too, because you're expecting the ball to go to Alfred Morris with Young leading the way, but it was a quick dive to Young, and he surprised the Chargers off the left side. Lichtensteiger and Williams with key blocks.
Forbath on for the extra point. And we're knotted up at 14 apiece. 9:43 mark of this 3rd quarter. Washington goes down the field and ties this one up. 1-yard touchdown run for Darrell Young. 9 plays, 74 yards. It took just over 5 minutes for Washington to tie this game up.
6 of those 9 plays, Ian, were run plays. The key was the 18-yard option run by Santana Moss.
Forbath will kick it off for Washington, and the ball comes off the tee. Wind is picked up.
Yeah, you talked about it being 20 miles per hour. This wind blowing from right to left and really blowing at the top of the stadium. Wow.
They're expecting a temperature drop tomorrow by 20-25 degrees here in the D.C. area. Forbat kicking it off to Hawkins, and he's going to take it out. 8 yards deep in the end zone. Hawkins could not get past Bakari Rambo on special teams. After the touchdown, a celebration for Griffin and for Young. Will they be celebrating later?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Yeah, there was a clear pass interference call missed in that flag football game. They're going to have to take a look at that one.
They'll hear from the league about that one.
I think so. Tied at 14. San Diego and Washington, 9:36 to go on the third. Ryan Matthews sets up as a receiver in the slot. On first down, Rivers to throw it. It's Antonio Gates. And Gates is brought down, depending on the spot, either looking at a 9 or 10-yard gain. Jarvis Jenkins with a tackle. With NFL Mobile, you can get live video access to exclusive premium content on your smartphone. Call *NFL to download, or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Message and data rates may apply. It is a first down for San Diego. Out to the 23. Fourth catch, 31 yards for Gates. Woodhead now in the backfield. Rivers. Incomplete. Couldn't complete it to Woodhead. NFL Today update. JB and Shannon.
KC's D.
This is how they got back into the ball game. Jeff Toole is going to be picked off by Sean Smith. 100 yards. INT return for a touchdown. 10-10. Kansas City and Buffalo all knotted up in the third.
Iron Eagle. Dan Fouts.
And get that man some oxygen. 100-yard return for a touchdown for the tall corner from Kansas City, Sean Smith. 2nd and 10 for San Diego. Pocket holds up. Gets it to Gates. And another Chargers first down, 15 yards. You may know it's coming to Gates, and there's still nothing you can do about it. Angelo Hall, it basically threw out a basketball term, said you can't let him box you out, which he does so well.
Well, here he is working against London Fletcher in the middle of the field. His first catch of the second half, he broke the tackle of Fletcher and got the first down. This time, Fletcher saying, well, he pushed off on me. That's what Gates does as he boxes you out.
And another 5 receiver set here for Rivers to work with. They'll make a change. Slapped down. This time it's Washington. Stephen Bowen getting his hand on it. Incomplete. It was their turn for a rejection.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's easy to block some of the passes for Rivers because watch how he just throws the ball right off his shoulder. He doesn't really take advantage of the fact that he's 6'5" sometimes. He tried to get the ball out so quickly. That ball easily deflected by Bowen.
2nd and 10 now for San Diego. We come up on 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. Woodhead, little hesitation from Woodhead, and he takes it up the middle for 3. Orakpo in on the stop for Washington.
You know, after gaining 33 yards in that first half, Ryan Matthews hasn't seen a whole lot of action. Ronnie Brown now in the game on this third down as Matthews and Woodhead stay on the sidelines.
Chargers have won the last 3 meetings against Washington. Redskins lead the all-time series with a mark of 6-3. 3rd and 7 now for the Chargers. Rivers steps up. Rivers floats it over the head of Vincent Brown. Incomplete. And San Diego will punt. Did you think Rivers was going to try to run with that one?
I think he could have picked up the first down, but he's so unused to running the ball that he saw a receiver and tried to float it over to him. But there was a lot of room for Rivers to pick up that first down. He was close to going over the line of scrimmage as well.
Mike Cypress will punt it to Joshua Morgan, averaging 8.8 yards per return, a long of 34. Morgan off the bounce. And Morgan hit down low. Out along the sideline by Lardarius Green, the backup tight end. 44-yard punt, a 5-yard return. Morgan goes airborne and then pays the price. Redskins will have the football when we come back. Washington Redskins have put up 277 yards of offense. They're trying to hit the halfway point of this season at 3-5. San Diego has won 2 in a row. They are 2-0 on East Coast trips this season. Wins over Philadelphia and Jacksonville. Robert Griffin III connects. Pierre Garçon. Johnny Patrick there defensively on the chase down. 32 yards. RG3 to Garçon.
The Chargers decide to blitz. That leaves single coverage on the outside. Johnny Patrick playing way off Garçon. Cool in the pocket was RG3, and Garçon comes up with another big play to get another drive started for the Redskins. He had a 38-yarder in the last drive that got them rolling. This one for 32.
We asked Garçon about RG3, the relationship. He said it's all about communication. That's the key. He said that Griffin has taken everything in stride, and he said, let's face it, everybody could be better on offense. Handoff to Morris, bangs his way just across the 45 for a 3-yard gain. Gatchkar, the tackle. JD and Shannon.
Vikings extra effort.
Yes, JB. Christian Ponder, 31 yards. Cal Rudolph into the end zone. 2017, Dallas over Minnesota.
That you like to see. Back to Ian and Dan.
All right, JB. Dallas at 4-4. Washington looking up at the Cowboys in the standings. Redskins at 2-5. And Minnesota just looking for something to build on here, especially at that QB spot. Option goes nowhere. Manti Te'o against RG3, a loss of 2.
Now that was going to be one of those read option plays for RG3, but Manti Te'o in his days at Notre Dame seen a lot of that. Watch as he comes right down and gives the quarterback absolutely no option here but to keep the ball and protect it. Good play by Te'o.
So now a 3rd and 9. They've got to dig some of that grass out of his helmet and the face mask area. Roy Halou Jr. is in. From the gun. Griffin. Scrambling. Steps up. Does he have the angle? Oh! RG3 going airborne. What an effort.
Just magic here by RG3. Gets a block from Roy Halou on the outside against Walker, and then it's just pure desire and athleticism to go up and over the top for 10 yards and a first down. That's flexibility there.
Just has a dynamic blend of abilities that he brings to the field. We come up on 4 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Movement, the jump, Legion trying to get the advantage.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, RG3 with the hard count here will get Legion to jump.
So 1st and 5. Line of scrimmage is now the 31-yard line. 5 penalties against San Diego, costing the Chargers 45 yards. Makes the connection. Hankerson, the receiver, for 8 yards and another first down for Washington.
Pierre Garçon was asked about the passing game after last week's debacle in Denver. He was very succinct when he said that the passing game sucks.
What did he say?
It doesn't do that today. Griffin now 14 of 20.
Did you put that in quotations or?
Yeah, it wasn't me. He said it.
Gotcha.
It was in the newspaper. Research.
3:20 to go. We didn't talk about that in the production room. On the pitch, Santana Moss didn't have the room to work with that he had earlier, and it's a 2-yard pickup.
That was real close to being a forward pass, which would have been legal because he was behind the line of scrimmage, and they are going to count that as a forward pass for Griffin.
The team on the play will be 2nd and 8 from the 21.
Good job by Gatchkar to force the pitch. But a big hit by Gatchkar on the quarterback, coming down on his right shoulder.
So a 2nd and 8 now. This time he will give it up to Morris. Keeps the legs churning. Yeah, forward progress is going to get him across the 15-yard line as he was driving in on Manti Te'o. 7-yard gain. Now, this is a guy that has gone through a lot of bumps and bruises in his year and a half in the NFL.
Last week he was just pummeled, and it was a lot of these shots. This one by Knighton really had to hurt his chest. He actually came out of the game with a sore left knee. But that last hit by Gatchkar had Griffin getting up very slowly.
That was a large order of pot roast.
Yes, it was.
Last
Terrence
week.
Knighton, a.k.a. pot roast.
One of the best nicknames in sports. 3rd and 1, and the play whistle dead.
Delay a game. Wow.
Prior to the snap, delay of game.
And you know what, that's sometimes a product of a big hit like that. It takes the quarterback out of his game a bit. That time clearly not watching the clock. And having guys in motion as well.
Yeah, it was late on the give to Darrell Young. Mike Shanahan was looking for an explanation. Young had a touchdown earlier, the first of his career. Former linebacker at Villanova, converted to fullback here in the pros. It was 3rd and 1, now looking at 3rd and 6. Their field goal kicker, Forbath, has been having his problems. And the play clock winding down again. They have to work quickly here, and they'll use a timeout.
Well, plays coming in late, and that really handcuffs the quarterback.
Late stages, 3rd quarter, all tied up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee, built free. And by Surface, the one device for everything in your life.
FedEx Field here in Landover, Maryland, tied at 14. The Chargers and the Redskins with 1:18 to play in this 3rd quarter. On a 3rd and 6 now for Washington. Spread the field. Griffin on time as he connects with Hankerson inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Washington after the 11-yard pass play.
Well, another conversion on 3rd down for the Redskins. 85 is Hankerson working against Stuckey over the middle. Stuckey with tight coverage, but the zip on that ball from Griffin gets it into Hankerson. Mike Shanahan, when I asked him who was going to step up as the number 2 receiver, without hesitation, he said that Leonard Hankerson would be. He's got 4 catches today for 46 yards in that big conversion on 3rd down. 8 of 10 now for the Skins on 3rd down.
Hankerson, a 3rd-round pick out of Miami a couple of years ago. On a give to Young. 4-yard gain. Gatchkar with a tackle. And now it's placed just inside the 5. Washington in no hurry here. They can run this one down right through to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Well, they'll probably do that because they're in real good field position, but it concerns me they had to use a timeout there in a tie ball game. Timeouts at the end of the game, obviously very, very important.
We will go to the 4th. Washington and San Diego tied at 14 apiece. The NFL on CBS. The possession, 12-19 for the Redskins as we start out this fourth quarter. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and the rest of our CBS crew. That includes our Associate Director, Jonathan Siegel, Washington, D.C. native. Second and goal here for Washington. Give it to Morris. Morris stays on his feet. Morris is driven down short of the goal line.
Alfred Morris with the carry.
Picks up 3.5 on that running play.
Talk about power here. Bounces off right there off of Sharice Wright, and then Kaiser comes in for the final blow there, but tough to bring down Alfred Morris when he gets so close to the goal line by only one man.
Extra offensive lineman Tom Compton, he is eligible. Third and goal for the Redskins. 11th play of the drive. Looking to break the tie. It's Darrell Young slicing up the gut. He's in. Touchdown, Washington. Second of the day for Young.
And the same play they ran for Young's first touchdown. Just a dive to the fullback, not going and giving it to the tailback deep in the I formation. The quickness of Young and the good blocking on the left side again. Lichtensteiger comes down with a good block, as does Trent Williams, and the tight end on that side. 11 plays, 79 yards, and 7:45 off the clock.
Extra point, 4 back. 21-14 Redskins. We are just underway here in the fourth quarter. Second rushing touchdown of his career. Darrell Young, pay dirt again. Another long drive by the Washington Redskins and another choreographed celebration for RG3 and Darrell Young. 11 plays, 79 yards. It took nearly 8 minutes off the clock. 4 back. On the kick, Hawkins is going to take it out again. Hawkins slowed down as he hit the 20-yard line, and he will be brought down right across the 22. Phillip Rivers. Fourth quarter, his team is down. Trying to keep the winning streak alive on CBS. In their last 2 games, the Chargers gave up just 15 points combined. 9 to the Colts, 6 to the Jaguars. They've allowed 21 here today to Washington. The Redskins with a 7-point lead over San Diego. Open up this drive at the 22. Early stages, fourth quarter. Gates in a matchup with D'Angelo Hall. That ball caught by Vincent Brown. And did Brown secure it? The officials believe he did. 17 yards at a first down.
A heck of a catch by Vincent Brown. Clearly in bounds. Lost it after the hit by Biggers on the sidelines.
Ryan Matthews is in there. Had the good start. Just haven't heard from him since. 6 carries, 33 yards for Matthews. Matthews running into the line and driven backwards. Forward progress, gain of 1. Ryan Kerrigan with the tackle. Thursday on CBS, Will Arnett, Margot Martindale, and Beau Bridges star in the #1 new comedy, The Millers, Thursday after The Big Bang Theory. Ryan Matthews, back-to-back 100-yard games. San Diego 6-1 when Matthews goes over 100 yards in his career. 13-minute mark of the fourth. 2nd and 9 for the Chargers. Rivers into a crowd. Gates, the intended target. Incomplete.
The timing just off on that pass play. We saw the real good timing on the pass to Vincent Brown, but Gates just didn't quite get his head around in time as he checks out the replay board here at the stadium.
So it sets up a 3rd and 9 now for San Diego. Ronnie Brown in the game for the Chargers. On 3rd and long. Rivers gets rid of it. And a drop ball, Keenan Allen. He would have had a first down and lots of room in front of him.
That's what he was thinking, too. He was thinking about all that room in front of him. Took his eye off the ball. Rivers threw it perfectly. Hit him right in the chest. Look at the head come up. And then the disappointment. This was going to be a huge play for San Diego because he had very few Redskins on that side of the field. Got to catch the ball first, Rook.
Mike Cyphers has been tremendous all day for San Diego. Morgan lets this one bounce, and it will take a Washington roll. It's touched by the Chargers right around the 27-yard line by Mike Wint, the snapper. 7-point lead. Washington has the football.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Powerful answers. TD Ameritrade. And by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
Some pictures from D.C., 15 miles from here, Landover, Maryland. 21-14. Washington leading San Diego. Redskins have the football. They spot it just short of the 29-yard line. Jordan Reed in motion, sets up behind RG3. Griffin to throw it. And it's too high. Looking for Santana Moss. Coming up next, NFL on CBS continues. Tom Brady and the Patriots take on the Steelers, or Joe Flacco and the Ravens meet the Browns. That's all coming up right here. The NFL on CBS.
21 plays now in the second half for the Redskins. They've majored in the run, 13 runs, just 8 passes. RG3, 6 of 8. And that his poorest pass of the day. That was going to be a big play right down the middle.
Johnny Patrick has been in for Derek Cox at one corner position. Here's Morris. Trying to veer to the outside. He's brought down by Weddle. It's a 2-yard gain. Also, Dan, I want to mention John Fox. A story coming out that Fox is going to need a procedure. Mike McCoy, San Diego Chargers head coach, very close to Fox, served as the offensive coordinator with the Denver Broncos. Of course, everybody here at CBS hopes that John's okay and he's back on the sideline soon.
Well, the key was he recognized the symptoms, and he was told that he was going to need this procedure at some point. So it was heads up by Fox to go to the hospital, get checked out, and now we'll be scheduled for that procedure.
3rd and 8 now for the Redskins. Pump. Griffin trying to run. The Chargers were ready for it. They limit him to a 3-yard gain. And Washington goes 3 and out. Legit combining with Johnny Patrick to bring down Griffin.
And they got away from the running game. They threw the incomplete pass on first down, didn't get much on second down, and now are forced to try to throw it on third down. Nobody open downfield, and RG3 gets stopped way short of the first down.
Veteran Sav Rocca punting. Keenan Allen, who just dropped that pass prior to the punt, is the return man. And he's not going to touch it. Bounces out of bounds. Still waiting for the official spot. It is at the 26. We're coming back. Well, Mike McCoy and Mike Shanahan, their paths did cross. McCoy was trying to make the Denver Broncos. Going back to his playing days as a quarterback, he was a training camp invitee, and Mike Shanahan, by his own admission, doesn't really remember him at that training camp.
Invitee is a nice, polite way of saying training camp arm.
That's it. On first down, Rivers sidesteps, throws. Connection made to Eddie Royal. First down across the 40-yard line. That one covers 15 yards. Rivers took a shot from Nick Barnett on the play. Get inside the mind of a quarterback. Join Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, and Adam Schein. NFL Monday QB. That's tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Rivers now 192 yards through the air, a touchdown and an INT. San Diego down by 7. Rivers. Intercepted. David Amerson wins the battle against his childhood friend Keenan Allen. Rivers trying to squeeze it in there. And Amerson has got the pick for Washington.
Rivers not real happy with the rookie Keenan Allen. Didn't really fight for this ball or come sharply enough across the middle. Amerson with great anticipation. Cuts in front. That is an athletic move of a veteran defensive back, not a rookie. But Amerson with his second interception of the season. He took back his first one for 45 yards and a touchdown against the Raiders. That one right there just as big.
D'Angelo Hall said Amerson is going to be a great player. He's got this positive cockiness about him and some things that you just can't teach at that position. On first down, a running play for Morris. Morris getting to the outside, turns the corner. Morris out of bounds. Marshall couldn't bring him down initially, and Morris turns it into a 7-yard gain.
Well, let's check out the interception again by David Amerson. It's a crossing route by Keenan Allen and doesn't get the separation here as the instinct to cut in front and cut off the receiver Allen by Amerson. Just a real veteran move.
Phillip Rivers out of NC State. Amerson also out of NC State, but many years later. Wolfpack against Wolfpack. 9:52 to go here in the fourth. Play goes to Morris. Not enough for the first down. Needed 3, picked up 2. Running plays accumulating though here for Alfred Morris. That's 18 carries now for Morris.
83 yards for Morris. And you can notice on this first 2 plays of this possession that he has been the main cog in this offense for Kyle Shanahan.
Dan, last season Morris carried the ball 20+ times in 10 games. This season, 0.
Yeah, I think he's on the verge of getting 20. I bet you this will be number 19.
San Diego trying to get their players off the field in time. They do. And it's Morris for a first down.
Well, San Diego had all kinds of problems with their personnel that time.
5-yard gain as we send it to New York. JB and Shannon.
If the offense can't do it, the D can.
Yes, JB, watch this play in a tied up ball game, 13-13. TJ Graham is going to get stripped. Tamba Hali picks it up into the end zone. 2013 Chiefs in front of the Bills.
Back to the bird. And Dan, I wish I could do a beard like that. And the beard.
Look at that beard, though. That's very dark. On a give to Halu.
From my younger cartoon days. And speaking of beards, congratulations to the Boston Red Sox Beards.
Oh, yeah.
World Series champions. Thank you very much.
They beat the Birds.
Yes, they did.
The Beards wins that one. That cartoon looks like from your days as a traveling magician in the 80s. When you opened for Doug Henning.
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto.
Look at that. 2nd and 8 now for the Redskins. We are under 8 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Washington with a 21-14 lead. Another tip ball by San Diego. It's Larry English.
Robert Griffin III pass deflected at the line. 3rd down and 8.
So it's 3rd and 8 now for Washington.
Here's English on the line of scrimmage. This is an athletic move by English. Getting his left hand on that ball, but it just shows you how difficult at times it is for quarterbacks. Griffin at 6'2", had a couple deflected today. So is Phillip Rivers. That's the 4th tip.
Lost Dwight Freeney for the year, so Larry English getting the opportunity in that spot. 3rd and 8. Pass is caught by Halu, but it's going to be short. Brought down by Darryl Stuckey. And now Mike Shanahan has to make a call here on 4th and short.
Yeah, he's keeping his offense out there. No, Kyle Shanahan now says get the field goal team out there.
So it will be Forbath and Rocca coming out.
You got to wonder about Forbath's confidence having 2 field goals blocked today.
San Diego had gone 175 games without a blocked field goal. They've done it twice against Forbath here. 47-yard attempt. Forbath. He knocks it through. Washington takes a 10-point lead. Just under 7 minutes to play. After the Rivers interception, the Redskins do put points on the board. Forbat connects. Shanahan likes it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Quicken Loans. For a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze. And by Subway. Go bold with the new Subway Sriracha Chicken Melt today.
Back here in the D.C. area, 24-14. Washington leading San Diego with 6:59 to play at FedEx Field. Forbat kicking it off. Hawkins takes a running start. Hawkins tries the shake and bake move and comes up short of the 25. This week, don't miss the show that's in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth with the artistry of NFL films and the chemistry of the boys. Inside the NFL, the show's The Pros Watch. Wednesday at 9 only on Showtime. 24-14 Washington. San Diego limited to 252 total yards. They come in averaging over 400 per game. Rivers, a little bit high for Gates, but took a stab at it. Incomplete.
And again, it's a blitz, so Gates is going to have single coverage. A short crossing route here for number 85. We've got double coverage there as Arakpo decides to drop into coverage, but that ball just slightly off target. We've seen Gates make that one-hander catch so many times in his career. Couldn't do it that time. We have an injured Redskin, and that's why we have the stoppage of play right now.
Officials came in and called the timeout. Josh Wilson was the injured Washington player on the previous play, so Bakari Rambo steps in to replace him. Defensive coordinator for the Redskins, former head coach in this league, Jim Haslett, former player as well. And the ranks have not been what Haslett expected.
He's got to be happy with the effort so far today for the Redskins defense. Holding Rivers down and holding the Charger running attack.
They've given up 40-plus points in back-to-back games for the first time since 1954. But they've held San Diego to 14 here. 2nd and 10. Rivers throwing to Woodhead. Woodhead on the collision loses his helmet. And he's ruled down at the 30-yard line. Riley and D'Angelo Hall. And Woodhead lost the helmet and lost the football.
And I think Shanahan wants to challenge that. Dropped the challenge flag. That ball did come out, it appeared. Redskins jumped on that ball.
And Jerome Boger will make his way over to Mike Shanahan.
Under the Hood is brought to you by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
Washington is challenging the rule on the field of a completed catch and not a fumble.
They're challenging the spot on the field and not the fumble. That ball is out.
There was that knee down before the ball was jarred loose. And you saw the extended conversation that the officials had with Shanahan.
Well, this is a bang-bang play. Watch the right knee hit the ground. We can't quite see where the ball is. when the knee hits the ground from that angle.
He gets pushed by Riley from behind. Then he had
That ball
D'Angelo
looks
Hall
right
on the
there
front.
at the bottom. It looks like it's on its way out just as the knee hits the ground. So this is going to be a tough one for Jerome Boger.
Now, could he be questioning whether or not it's considered a completion? That might be what Shanahan was asking.
Well, there's possession right there after a couple of steps, so it's a completed pass.
That ball is moving, though, as the knee goes out. He's got it there and he loses it there.
Yeah, I think this ball is loose before the knee comes down.
He took a violent shot to the back of his neck.
That's D'Angelo Hall with the forearm to the back of Woodhead's helmet.
They've now shown the play quite a bit on the big screen here. That's what Woodhead is taking a peek at.
This was heads up by the coaching staff upstairs to alert Shanahan on the sidelines that this is what might be a possible fumble and worth challenging.
Washington right now up by 10, 24-14. You know, as we know, the longer it takes, usually that means there's something brewing.
This is just a tough one. I mean, they're going to have to really slow this one down, and it has to be definitive. Remember, it was called a completed pass and down, and is there enough video evidence to overrule it? I think there is.
The ball is sitting there.
Yeah, Hall recovers this.
Yeah, there's a clear recovery as Hall notices that Woodhead's helmet's gone and then realizes that the ball's just sitting in front of him.
I think the helmet coming off may have distracted just about everybody.
All right, you almost take your eye off the play because you see this flying helmet. So Boger just emerged from the booth.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. Third down, Washington. Washington's charge, their second charge, timeout.
So Washington loses the timeout. They lose the challenge. That's not how Boger saw it.
Just not enough conclusive video evidence to overturn this call. But you're right, Ian. The important thing now is the Skins in a 10-point game have just one timeout. San Diego has possession at the 30-yard line and a huge third down coming up.
Third and 3 now for San Diego. Woodhead will shift. Shotgun Rivers. Steps up, and it's handled by Allen for a first down. That's another third down catch converted into a fresh set of downs for Keenan Allen. 16 yards on the pass.
Yeah, and a nice job by Allen to get away from D'Angelo Hall and go up high in the air to secure this catch, working his way back to Rivers.
Here's Rivers on first down. Rivers thrown down by Rob Jackson. Jackson with his second sack of the season.
And that's the first sack of either quarterback today.
Phillip Rivers has been sacked in 24 straight games. Second and 10 here for the Chargers. Down to 5:25 to play. Over the middle to Woodhead. And a flag is thrown at the end. Could be a horse collar on the takedown.
And if it is, this will put San Diego in field goal range. Remember, they need 10 points here.
personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 59, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It is the four-time Pro Bowler veteran London Fletcher.
It got a pretty good grab inside the shoulder pad there. Tries to let go in time, but draws the flag regardless.
And it's been exclusively Woodhead on this drive. We have not seen Ryan Matthews. Rivers to Woodhead again. Zigzags his way inside the 25. Brought down by Brandon Jenkins, the rookie out of Florida State. That's a 7-yard gain through the air. We're down to 4:50 to go.
7 catches now for Woodhead.
Second and short for the Chargers. Rivers. The hands from Gates, and he's got a first down to the 16.
Yeah, the 2 leading receivers for the Chargers are Gates and Woodhead. And in clutch time, where do you think Rivers is going to go with the ball?
Working quickly here, 4:20 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter. San Diego trails Washington by 10. Chargers are driving. Shotgun for Rivers. Rivers will take a shot. End zone. Caught. Keenan Allen. Touchdown, San Diego. Rivers delivers with a strike to Allen.
Well, Emerson got the best of Allen previously when he picked him off. This time it's just a great route by Keenan Allen. Faked the slant route. Emerson bit on the fake. Allen down the sidelines, wide open. Perfect pass by Rivers.
Novak on for the extra point. And they did it quickly, Dan. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. 8 plays, 77 yards for the Chargers. San Diego now down by 3 against Washington.
Watch the move here by Allen. Fakes right there to the slant route. Emerson, hook, line, and sinker. And Emerson has help actually inside here. Watch the little fake and then to the corner. No reason to bite on that fake right there by Allen. But a rookie on a rookie, and 2 very, very good friends.
Keenan Allen has 20 tickets for this one. Family and friends sitting up top. We asked him where they sitting. He said high, very high.
3rd row from the top. That's about as high as you can get here. They're the only people in the stadium cheering right now.
Keenan Allen, the bye week, he said he shut it down for a few days. Actually went to Six Flags. He loves roller coasters and said the Superman ride is the real deal. And there's the Allen family.
See, there's the top of the stadium right up there. So that's 3 rows from the top. Way to go, Keenan.
Well, it looks like he's also got seats in the second to last row as well. So it's a combination there.
How about the Redskins looking for the onside kick here? They have 10 men within 15 yards of the ball.
So the hands team out there. San Diego has 3 timeouts to work with. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. You think Novak's kicking it deep? Or?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. There's no reason to. With all this time left and the timeouts that you just talked about and the 2-minute warning, you got to kick this one deep.
It's Santana Moss deep, and Novak will kick it deep. Moss will go back to get it. Mishandles it. Able to scoop it up. Recovers. Works the sideline out of bounds. 4:06 to play. Washington's offense will take the field, nursing a 3-point lead. Trying to keep themselves in the NFC East race with a win. Well, the Chargers did exactly what they needed to do on that drive. Under 3 minutes of time elapsed. And they cash in with a touchdown. Rivers to Allen. Mike McCoy in his first year as the head coach of the Chargers. 15th head coach in team history. 3-point differential. Fake the handoff. Griffin throws in stride. Pierre Garçon shakes a tackler. Sharice Wright couldn't bring him down initially. Couple of extra yards. 26 yards for Garçon overall.
Well, a little play action because the Redskins have been effective running the ball today. That gives Griffin time in the pocket as the linebackers have to respond to Morris on the draw play. That opens up the middle of the field for Garcon, and Griffin right on target.
So breathing room here for Washington. 3.5 to go here in the fourth. Garcon, 139 yards receiving. Using play clock here as well. Give is to Morris. Tried to dart. And Morris is brought down by Reyes. It's a 1-yard gain for Alfred Morris.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Ball in the 40.
San Diego not using any timeouts here. And we're going to hit the 3-minute mark. Chargers trying to keep pace. Kansas City undefeated. Denver 7-1. They still play the Chiefs and the Broncos twice. But it means you have to take care of your other business in order to have those games have the kind of meaning that San Diego is hoping for. Redskins in no hurry. Down to 2:37 to go. Another running play. Morris hit from the side by Legion, and a flag is thrown.
Marker on the play, Alfred Morris with the carry.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second out.
Going to get Chris Chester working on Kendall Reyes with a very, very costly holding penalty. Here's Chester. There he just is going to reach out with that right hand as Reyes going to try to make the tackle on Morris. Not only do you lose all that yardage, but you also stop the clock. And that's the name of the game right now, is beat the clock.
2:29 to go. 2nd and 19 now for Washington. Chargers have to start thinking about using their timeouts here, depending upon the play selection. Fake the handoff. Griffin to throw. Garcon, the intended receiver, and he's got it. Secures it at the 45. Pierre Garcon is having a banner day.
This is an unbelievable catch. It's again, we saw an acrobatic catch earlier in the game. Watch the left hand, one-handed for Garcon.
So now San Diego does use the timeout. Chargers have 2 remaining. Robert Griffin III. Yeah, it's going to count. Brought down to the 45. It'll be 3rd and short coming up for Washington. Garcon now 6 catches, 155 yards. He's been targeted 10 times.
And Griffin enjoying all of that. 19 of 27 for 252. Did have the 1 interception on the deflected pass in the end zone. That was picked off by defensive lineman Sean Lismore, but other than that, he's been on target and really bailed out a couple of times by the acrobatic Garcon.
This is a critical 3rd and 3 now for Washington and for the San Diego defense. Redskins lead at 24-21. On 3rd down. He throws it over the head of Garcon, incomplete. It's 4th down, Washington.
Pass intended for Garcon, incomplete.
Well, to that point, the Redskins had been 10 of 14 on 3rd downs, but Johnny Patrick with really good coverage on Garcon. Man-to-man press coverage. And Griffin may have saw the tight coverage on Patrick and did not want to force that ball and have it picked off.
Sav Rocca gets it off cleanly. Keenan Allen once again is not going to get an opportunity as Rocca has placed it inside the 10. 2:10 to go here in the 4th. 38-yard punt, very effective by Rocca. And now Rivers and the Chargers offense will take the field down by 3.
Yeah, Novak's long field goal this season, 50 yards. Talking to his snapper Mike Wendt on the sidelines.
His career-long 53 going back to the 2011 season. Novak, a former Washington Redskin. From the 8-yard line in a 3-point game. Woodhead to the side of Rivers. Rivers to throw it. He's got Eddie Royal. And Royal tiptoes out of bounds. 20-yard pickup. 2:02 to play here in the fourth.
Great time to throw for Rivers, as Royal will come from the right side of the screen and in and out type of route against E.J. Biggers. And how about getting out of bounds with 2 seconds before the 2-minute warning?
Exactly. They get a chance to run another play here. Rivers steps up underneath. It's Woodhead. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. London Fletcher in on the stop. 8-yard gain on the pass to Woodhead. Winding down here at FedEx Field. Washington up by 3. Don't forget, second half of our NFL on CBS doubleheader. Pittsburgh at New England or Baltimore matched up with Cleveland. That's coming up. 2 timeouts remaining for San Diego. Washington with a 24-21 lead. 1:54 to play here in the fourth. Trying to get Nick Novak into field goal range. On 2nd and short. Woodhead was not turned around. Rivers thought Woodhead would be looking, and instead he spun around a little too late. And it's 3rd and 2.
The pressure was coming from the right side on Rivers. Jarvis Jenkins with the pressure. And he wanted to get rid of the ball sooner than Woodhead was ready. Chargers need a first down, but obviously they'll go for it on 4th down. So expect Rivers to put this one in the air.
I'll keep an eye on Antonio Gates. He's been the security blanket through the years for Phillip Rivers. Gates goes in motion. On 3rd down, Rivers looking. Rivers, the ball bounced off the back of his offensive lineman, and it's ruled incomplete as Rivers took a shot from Cofield. Looked like he lost it a little bit as he was letting go of it.
Well, let's check it out. Here is Cofield, number 96, 2.5 sacks on the year. He just gets hit as he's delivering it. That's why the ball bounces off a Redskin, Kerrigan.
Remember, it was 2nd and 2, and now it's 4th and 2 for San Diego. Trying to stay alive. From the gun. Rivers wide open. Keenan Allen with the catch, and Allen gets up and gets some extra yards. Nobody within 10 yards of him. 26-yard pass play.
Well, that's because Gates was lined up on the same side. They had about 3 guys jump Gates because they knew that the Chargers only need 2 yards, and nobody was down the field for Allen.
We're down to 1:20 left. San Diego still has 2 timeouts. And Washington will call the timeout.
Their last timeout.
Their third and final. This is their 32nd timeout.
Here's Gates. Here's Allen coming down the field. Gates is going to come in inside here. Look at the miscommunication here by the Redskins as they jump the short routes. And it's the rookie Emerson who leaves the rookie Allen alone down the field.
Well, you talked earlier about Allen, his effectiveness on 3rd down. That was on 4th down.
Well, and on 4th down this year, the opponents have just killed the Redskins. That's 7 of 8 conversions on 4th down this season.
And Allen got a complete free release. There was no jam at the line of scrimmage because they were so focused on Gates.
Well, you could see before the ball was snapped that there was conversation in the secondary, and total miscommunication as Emerson bites on Gates and leaves Allen alone.
Keenan Allen, family and friends in the stands for this one. Greensboro, North Carolina native. We're down to 1:18 to go. From the 42. A jump. Chargers pointing at the Redskins, and a flag does come down. Each team pointing in the other direction, and now Jerome Boger has to sort it out.
Number 63. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Johnny Troutman, who has started the last 5 games at left guard because of a toe injury to Chad Reinhardt.
Here's Troutman at left guard, but watch the Redskins jump into the neutral zone there, then get back. It's Bowen. And then Troutman jumps and he draws the flag. That could have gone either way.
Back it up 5 yards. Line of scrimmage is now the 47. Rivers gets out of it. Rivers juggled, dropped by Royal. That would have put them into field goal range if Royal was able to hold on to it.
Yeah, they need about 15 yards to get Novak in a comfortable spot. 14 yards would give Novak a 50-yard field goal try. Again, it looked like Rivers had room to not only pick up yardage, but maybe get out of bounds if he decided to run the ball. But he saw Royal, and Royal flat dropped it.
It's now a 2nd and 15. Down to 1:10 to play. Rivers guns. He's got Allen again. Just short of the 25-yard line, and now certainly into field goal range. San Diego might be thinking about trying to take the lead here instead. Everybody was focused on the field goal. The Chargers have an opportunity here. 2 timeouts to work with. They can take some shots. 45 seconds left. Rivers to throw it again. Keenan Allen, they're feeding him the football, and Allen makes a beeline to the outside. Out of bounds to stop the clock, 11-yard gain. Allen lost his footing at the end of the play.
Well, and remember, Josh Wilson, who normally plays that corner position, is being replaced by Emerson because of the injury, and Allen is just eating up his good buddy, David Emerson. How about the heads-up move here to save time off the clock by the rookie Keenan Allen?
8 catches, 128 yards, a touchdown for Allen. San Diego looking to rally here in the 4th quarter at FedEx Field. Down by 3. Rivers on first down. Out of trouble. Rivers has room in front of him. Rivers the pump. And Rivers gets to the sideline. Hit down low by Wilson, who's back in there for Washington. 29 seconds left.
He's real close to a first down, too, but again, a 4-man rush, and Rivers finding the alley there, then notices that the sideline's not too far away. Josh Wilson back in the game making that tackle.
It's a 9-yard scramble for Philip Rivers. We have 29 seconds left. San Diego can run the football because they have 2 timeouts remaining.
And Woodhead is an excellent draw runner.
Rivers to throw it. Rivers underneath. Woodhead with the catch. Makes his move. Woodhead, touchdown! He got to the pylon! Touchdown Chargers! He took a shot, and he got the angle. All scoring plays will be reviewed. If it stands, San Diego takes the lead.
I don't think he got in. I think his knee knocked the pylon down. Emerson came over and blasted him at about the 2-yard line. Woodhead trying to get the ball across the goal line or hit the pylon. And his leg actually hits the pylon. That's not going to be a touchdown. Great effort by both players, though.
Woodhead, as he's floating to the sideline, tries to put the ball right on the edge of the pylon. And what the official may have seen was the leg after the fact.
Yeah, I think the official was focused on the pylon because that's what you're looking at when the ball player is trying to extend the ball across the goal line. But I'm with you, Ian. I think his leg hit the pylon, knocked it down.
So Jerome Boger is taking a look at it. All scoring plays, of course, reviewed. It was called a touchdown on the field for Danny Woodhead off the pass from Philip Rivers. And he is bloodied on the bridge of the nose.
He came down hard on his face mask, and that brought the helmet down on his nose. That ball clearly never hit the pylon or never crossed the plane.
And the officials getting all the looks that you're seeing right now here at FedEx Field. You thought maybe he grazed it. And that's what the officials are going to focus in on. The pylon goes down because Woodhead's leg slaps it backwards at the end of the play.
This is two very critical Woodhead replays. Remember back to the previous drive on a pass completion, very close to being called a fumble. This very close to being a deciding play in this ball game.
San Diego got the football down by 3. You're thinking, all right, they've got to go down the field, get Nick Novak into field goal range, but then a couple of big chunk plays to Keenan Allen. They started at their own 8-yard line, and before you knew it, they were in touchdown territory.
After reviewing the play, the ball carrier did not score a touchdown. The ball replaced at the 6-8 line, 3rd down, San Diego.
So take the points off the board. The ball will be placed inside the 1, and they've got to do a tape job right now in the corner, the cut corner for Danny Woodhead.
And the Chargers have 2 timeouts, so they are really in a great position here inside the 1-yard line. Redskins have no timeouts. And it's going to come down to this. Ball placed inside the 1-yard line for San Diego.
1st and goal for the San Diego Chargers. Washington in jeopardy of falling to 2-6 at the midway point of the season. .21 seconds left. Washington 24, San Diego 21. And Woodhead is in there for the Chargers. First and goal. San Diego down by 3. Chargers trying to take the lead. Brown, the motion man. Operating out of the gun. Rivers on a give. A blast. Woodhead is short. Chargers will use one of the 2 remaining timeouts. 15 seconds remain on the clock. It'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
I just wonder if there's something wrong with Ryan Matthews. Woodhead, who's got a cut on his nose. A lot smaller back than Matthews. No lead blocker for Woodhead on this play. And the Redskins just stuff him right at the line of scrimmage.
Ryan Kerrigan among those there for Washington. And now Ryan Matthews is on the edge of the huddle. 7 carries, 34 yards for Matthews. The majority of that damage done in the first quarter. He has just 1 carry in the second half.
And LaRon McClain, the blocking fullback, in the game as well.
3 tight ends. 2nd and goal for the Chargers. Trying to go in front. Rivers, floater, upstairs, too high for Gates. Incomplete.
Well, a real curious call that time for San Diego. D'Angelo Hall, the best cornerback on this team, with great coverage on Gates. Gates claiming he was held, but that's just good defense by Hall. Well within the 5 yards area where you can put your hands on the receiver. Chargers with 1 timeout, and they can still run the ball here, but they're coming in with their receivers and Woodhead.
3rd and goal for San Diego. Chargers down by 3. Moving pocket. Rivers rifles. Incomplete. Allen with a diving attempt, and it's 4th down. And Mike McCoy is going to send out the field goal unit.
You know, they're a half a yard away from the goal line in 3 plays. and actually go backwards a half a yard. Real curious play selections by Ken Whisenhunt here. Woodhead on first down dive with a receiver set in there. Then they go with the heavy set, try and throw the fade to Gates, incomplete, and then the receivers come back and Rivers has no place to throw the ball but out of the back of the end zone.
19-yarder is good. Tied at 24 with 3 seconds left here in the fourth. Don't forget, second half of the doubleheader is coming up here on CBS. Pittsburgh is at New England, or Baltimore taking on Cleveland. All right, here's how we got to this point. Our game summary here at FedEx Field. Bizarre play. Knocked down Lismore off the pass from Griffin for an interception touchdown. Then the touchdown run by Darrell Young. Young does it again. Washington builds on the lead. San Diego fights back. Rivers to Keenan Allen. And that's been a huge connection in the fourth quarter. Allen with 8 catches, 128 yards and a touchdown. Phillip Rivers, 29 of 46, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Robert Griffin III, 19 of 28, 252 yards, no touchdowns, and the interception, as we showed you. Alfred Morris has gone for 89 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Pierre Garçon, 155 yards receiving on 6 catches. Last year, this is a Washington team that started 3-6, won 7 in a row to get to the playoffs. Then obviously the injury to RG3 changed everything. Kickoff will land in the end zone. Morgan has to do something. He can't just let it sit there, and he finally touches it and takes a knee. Chargers and Redskins, last 2 meetings. First, November of 2005 at Washington. LaDainian Tomlinson, a 41-yard touchdown in overtime to win it for San Diego. Then, January of 2010, trailing 20-16, the starters pulled Billy Volek to Mike Tolbert for the game-winning 2-yard touchdown, 23-20. So RG3 will take a knee, and we will head to OT in Landover. (24-24) Washington and San Diego. End of regulation. Overtime rules. Coin toss decides the possession, of course. 1 15-minute quarter, a touchdown or a safety on the first possession wins the game. If the score is tied after each team's first possession, then the next score will win. You get into a sudden death scenario. 2 timeouts per teams. No coaches' challenges, only booth reviews.
And that's really key, that the booth reviews obviously takes the decision out of the hands of the coaches and also doesn't potentially cost them timeouts.
Danny Woodhead inches away from giving San Diego the lead and probably walking out of here with a win.
It just shows you how the game has changed. The ball on the 1-yard line, with all that timeouts, you'd think that you could just pound the ball, especially when you got a great blocking fullback like McLean and a tough runner like Ryan Matthews, but the play selection really puzzling there. And now the all-important coin toss.
Captains meet at the middle of the field.
Overtime period. Each team must have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the team that's first possessing the ball scores a touchdown. Each team will be given 2 timeouts. Timing rules will be the same as in the fourth quarter, and all replay challenges will be initiated by the replay assistant. San Diego, you get to call the coin toss for the overtime period. The Redskin logo represents heads, and the NFL logo represents tails. San Diego has chosen tails. And it's heads. Washington wants the ball. We kicked it. Washington won the toss and will receive for the overtime period.
Overtime is next. At FedEx Field, Woodhead was that close to putting San Diego in front. Overtime, San Diego and Washington. Redskins win the toss, so Nick Novak will kick it off. We've seen the winds gusting. It has slowed down a bit of late, currently at 10 miles per hour. Josh Morgan is the deep man for Washington. Underway in overtime in Landover, Maryland. Morgan's going to take it out 2 yards deep in the end zone. Morgan is tripped. Hit down low as he crossed the 20-yard line by Johnny Patrick on special teams. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB, Shannon Sharp.
Romo in the clutch.
Yes, JB. He take it away early. He threw an early fourth quarter interception. But here, 7 yards. Dwayne Harris for the game winner. 27-23 Cowboys over the Vikes.
Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Well, they always make it interesting, don't they? The Dallas Cowboys now at 5-4. Important, of course, with Washington at 2-5, trying to stay in it in the NFC East. On first down, fake the handoff. Pass is complete to Hankerson. Out across the 30-yard line, they pick up 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, smart play on first down to fake the option, get RG3 on the move. Good flow to that pass route. A lot of receivers coming into his vision as they cross the field, and good gain on first down.
Kyle Shanahan calling the plays for Washington. Son of the head coach, Mike Shanahan. 2nd and 1 now for the Redskins. Give it to Morris. Morris has a blocker. Looked like he was going to be stacked up, but he was able to get the angle. And a first down for the Redskins. 3-yard gain. Injured Charger on the play as the medical staff comes over.
Looks like Andrew Gatchkar. Remember, he's filling in for Donald Butler. So the Chargers have another injury at the linebacker position. Gatchkar coming out to make the tackle. And then he gets, he's got his leg bent up as looked like Young fell on top of him.
So Reggie Walker will come in for him. They're going to help Gatchkar to his feet. And Gatchkar able to make his own way to the bench area for San Diego. So it's Walker in, 5th-year linebacker. Signed as a free agent, played with Arizona. Morris now 21 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Just underway in overtime, tied at 24. Jordan Reed, the motion man, a big factor early in this game, not so much in the second half. Alfred Morris. Morris getting to the second level and beyond. Johnny Patrick whiffed, and Morris turns it into a 19-yard gain. Good block from Reed.
Smart move by Morris as he cuts over here. Watch the block by Josh Morgan. He'd be the last guy to think he's going to have a key block on this play, but he takes Gilchrist out of the way, and there's the whiff by Patrick, and down the sideline and into Charger territory. Morris now 111 yards rushing because of efforts like that.
Line of scrimmage is now the 47 of San Diego. Fake the handoff. RG3 fires underneath to Logan Paulson, and a modest gain on first down, hit by Reggie Walker. Gain of 1.5 yards on the play.
And the Skins decided to protect RG3 that time. They just sent out 3 receivers and kept in extra blockers. But the Chargers playing zone there had everybody covered down the field. And it's a short gain of 1 yard to Paulson in the flat.
Touchdown wins the game. Field goal does not. Field goal allows San Diego to get the football. 2nd and 9. Give it to Morris. Jump step. and squirts through for a yard on the play. Jared Johnson over there defensively for San Diego.
You know, third downs had been a problem for the Redskins this season, but not today. They've converted 11 of 15. But I like that rule where they changed it, where you have to score a touchdown in your first possession to win a game in overtime. It's really more fair now for both teams.
3rd and 8. Roy Halou Jr. is in there. Jordan Reed, the rookie, goes in motion. Griffin pulls the trigger and hits Reed for the first down. Inside the 35. Big catch by Reed that covers 12 yards and keeps this drive alive for Washington.
Again, it's a stack formation type of situation as Reed releases to the outside. Good sharp move there and a great throw. But Reggie Walker, the linebacker, a little bit late coming over there. And now the Redskins, another third down conversion.
New set of downs for Washington. Line of scrimmage, the 33. Give it to Morris. And a flag is thrown as Morris picks up a couple yards. Lismore with the stop for the Chargers.
And you know this is going to be holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 63. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And it's the center, Will Montgomery, called on the hold.
Working against Cam Thomas right in the middle here. Ball goes to the left side. And again, it's a hook there by Montgomery on Thomas, and that draws the flag.
Back it up to the 43. Hankerson in motion on a 1st and 20 now for Washington. Fake the run play. Griffin slips it in there. And a flag thrown after the catch by Garcon. The rifle by RG3.
It's going to be a personal foul hitting a defenseless receiver. So add on a few more yards, half the distance for the Redskins. What a beautiful throw. 31 yards on this play now with the penalty.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 59. Hit on the defenseless receiver in the head and neck area. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And it's Gatchkar as they march it now inside the 15.
Now Garcon with another tough catch in traffic. Boy, that's a real iffy call. Gatchkar trying to make a tackle, and actually Garcon lowered his head, and their helmets collide. That draws the flag.
Now a first down for the Redskins. Up the middle. Alfred Morris almost ended this one. Eric Weddle, the tackle for San Diego.
Well, Trent Williams and Corey Lichtensteiger done a good job on that left side there. What an athletic move by Trent Williams as he double teamed with Lichtensteiger that came off on the linebacker, and that got Morris inside the 5.
They bring in an extra offensive lineman, Tom Compton. Washington trying to end it here.
Now remember, they've given the ball to Young twice now for touchdowns in similar formation.
Give it to Morris. Trying to push the pile, and he's held up. Still needed a yard for the first down, so we'll see where they spot the football.
Looks like he might be about a half a yard short. Or maybe a football length short.
They're going to measure it.
It's the I formation blast play here. Behind Young goes Morris, and Morris basically misses the hole. The hole was out to the left of him, and he decided to cut it straight up the field.
Yeah, just to think back, San Diego thought they had the lead after an incredible effort by Woodhead getting to the pylon. They review it. He didn't get there. They can't punch it in inside the 1. They have to settle for the game-tying field goal. They force overtime, and now Washington faces a 3rd and short. 3rd and inches inside the 5. Again, this is the first possession of overtime. So a touchdown ends the game. A field goal allows San Diego a chance.
Well, I guess the question is then for Shanahan, if you don't make it, do you go for it on 4th down?
Whew.
That's a decision, isn't it?
Well, first things first, this 3rd and inches for Shanahan and the Washington offense. Redskins, high expectations for this season after what they did last year. The injury, though, to RG3, and they just were out of sorts early in the year. Looked like they had gotten themselves back in business with a win over Chicago, then embarrassed in Denver last week. 3rd and inches. Young. It's Young. It's over. Darrell Young steamrolls his way to the end zone. Touchdown Washington. They win it in overtime. Third touchdown of the day for Young. The game winner. Washington 30, San Diego 24. Your final at FedEx Field.
And give Kyle Shanahan a lot of credit for his play calling near the goal line. 3 times he gives the ball to the fullback Young in the I formation. This time it's over the right side. And watch how the former linebacker, he's got great vision as he saw the hole to the right side. Did not power up in the middle. He saw the goal line. And he's going to get his 3rd of the day.
Darrell Young.
The end of the game stats are brought to you by your local Ford.
He ends it for the Washington Redskins. Final score 30-24 in overtime. Pittsburgh at New England coming up. Second half of the doubleheader, or the Ravens taking on the Browns. For Dan Fouts, our entire CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Landover. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.